If people are dieting now more than ever before, then why are nearly 1 in 3 American adults overweight? Dr. Gundry, who's helped thousands lose weight and feel younger and healthier than ever, says most people are not getting enough fat-burning MCTs from their food. MCTs are a special kind of compound that instead of turning into fat when you consume it, turns into ketones, which is a chemical that breaks down the excess fat in your body. So, by getting more MCTs in your diet, you essentially flip a switch that puts your body in caloric bypass mode, which can flush out excess fat and calories. And he's created an easy way for you to activate caloric bypass right at home. It's called MCT Wellness. This powerful blend of fat-flushing MCT powders and antioxidant-rich polyphenols is designed to help you unlock your body's fat-burning, energy-producing potential. What's even better is that it's a delicious drink. I love how incredible it tastes. All you do is add a scoop to water, enjoy, and watch as you start feeling slimmer and more energized. So, if you want to experience a quick, easy, and effective way to melt pounds fast, go to GundryMD.com/energy and order right now to get up to 53% off your regular price order with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Again, that's GUNDRYMD.com/energy.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome, everyone, to Couch Potato Diary. Happy Football Friday. My name is Peter Klein. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. Coming up on the program, we are going to be looking at the week ahead in the CFL, the game that happened last night, and some of the big stories from the NFL. Maybe not next week, but a couple weeks from now, we are going to really ramp up the NFL content on here as we move back to 4 days a week, previewing the National Football League season. So get ready for that. There's going to be a few 5-day weeks in there as well, but it should be a whole lot of fun with another team-specific podcast that I know I haven't done the best job of keeping up with a couple here during the summer, but it's the summer. So hopefully we'll do a better job with that one. I imagine we will. Anyway, that's something to look forward to. Let's get into a little bit more looking forward as we get ready for the week ahead in the Canadian Football League. It is time for our CFL picks for Week 9. All right, pick didn't go great yesterday with the BC Lions getting shut out by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. We'll talk about that one here in a few minutes. But we begin with the Montreal Alouettes taking on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I don't know how much there is to break down on this game. Montreal is just a more complete football team. It does not matter if it is Davis Alexander under center. It does not matter if it is Cody Fajardo under center. This is a more complete football team. Davis Alexander coming in and showing what this offense can do is, again, as I mentioned earlier this week, a testament to how good this team is constructed. This defense is so good, and you have an offense with so many weapons on it. You just need to get the ball in their hands. And you guys know that's one of my least favorite sayings, because that pertains to every skill position player that's ever existed. Oh, just get the ball in his hands. Yeah, no shit. But these guys are just get the ball in their hands guys, and they can do so much with it. So you look at how complete this Montreal team is, and it really does kind of show through when you watch Davis Alexander do his thing. On the Hamilton side, a couple of good wins in a row. And they are starting to show up a little bit. And I was on the CFL this week on the Ticats Audio Network talking about how Hamilton and Ottawa coming on strong really makes it seem like the East is more dangerous and just better right now than the West is. And it is really difficult to argue with that particular point. And that's because Hamilton is playing some pretty good football right now. Defensively, I do think they've been bailed out a little bit, or were bailed out a little bit last week with Bethel Thompson, missing every pass ever. But I still think that there are playmakers on that side of the football. And as someone who has a rooting interest in the Saskatchewan Roughriders, I was kind of hoping that they would keep sucking and then the Riders would trade for Barlow. That was kind of my hope. But that's probably not going to happen now. But this is a very talented team on the defensive side of things. They had some trouble kind of getting things going a little bit. But they have some play. I shouldn't say this is a talented team on the defense, but they have a few talented pieces on the defensive side of the football. As far as the offense is concerned, this has been a resurgence for Bo Levi Mitchell. And the thing that really gives you hope for Hamilton, is Tim White coming in and picking up a couple of touchdowns late in that football game to be able to bring this team really over the edge and dominating in dominant fashion over Edmonton. If he gets going, then this team becomes a little bit interesting out east. But all of that is to say, they aren't the Montreal Alouettes. And so I do believe the Alouettes come away with a pretty convincing victory here on Friday night. On Saturday night at Mosaic in Saskatchewan, it is the Rough Riders playing host to the Edmonton Elks. Trey Ford is going to be the quarterback for the Edmonton Elks, and that I think is really, really interesting. He obviously provides a different look for this offense. He provides an electricity for this offense that people I think in Edmonton can get really excited about. And so it's just, I have concerns about A, implementing all of it in a week, and B, this is a Saskatchewan team that will bend but not break, and a lot of times before they break, they'll break you and get an interception. And I think that is where you have some issues here with Trey Ford. How disciplined is he going to be with the football? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of running. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of that. But when it does come time to have to throw the football, is he going to be accurate enough? Is he going to make the right reads to avoid the turnovers that so many haven't been able to avoid against this Saskatchewan Roughriders football team? And also, it's a Saturday night in Regina. I get Mosaic isn't what Taylor Field used to be in terms of crowd noise. I do think that's going to start to come back as this team gets better and better and better and better and better. But this is a really big moment for this kid. And I'm not going to say the moment's going to be too big for him. I think he still plays a fine game. I just don't think Edmonton's as good as Saskatchewan is. And the Riders are coming off of a really disappointing loss last weekend against Montreal, where penalties and poor play really cost them in the second half of a game that it felt like they were in control of. And I think that was a learning lesson for Corey Mace, because it did feel like they were prepared to kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit against a Montreal team that was really struggling with Caleb Evans at quarterback. And then for the second time this season, when there was an obvious shift, Corey Mace wasn't able to adjust to that. And so that is something I would like to see going forward from a Saskatchewan standpoint. But I just think this defense is really going to do a good job of limiting some of the explosive plays that Edmonton's going to be able to put up. And Shea Patterson in this offense, I think, is going to have a pretty good day against the Edmonton Elks defense that has struggled against many teams this season. And that is a bigger part of the conversation out in Edmonton. Yes, it's exciting that Trey Ford is coming in. Quarterback wasn't the biggest problem for this team. It was a problem. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But I don't think you are addressing the biggest need in Edmonton just by shifting things at the quarterback spot. And then the week closes with Heritage Night in Calgary, as it is the Stampeders taking on the Toronto Argonauts. I have major concerns about Calgary. And look, they have been a different team here at McMahon Stadium than off on the road. They're undefeated at home, and they haven't won a game on the road. Well, they're at home this week. But the thing that worries me is this Toronto defense is starting to show how good they can be. And no Winton McManus is huge this week for Toronto. But Serezna's back. And Amos is still an absolute ball hawk and a terror to play against in that defense for the Toronto Argonauts. And Jake Mayer has stumbled a few times in moments like this. And so I just worry about a Stampeders team that looked really bad last week against a defense in Ottawa that isn't as good as this Toronto one is. And so that's where I get the concern from a Calgary standpoint. And the other thing I'm worried about for Calgary is their play defensively. They have not been very good on the defensive side of the ball. And Toronto has been dog shit on offense. There's no question about that. I wonder if this is a big Kadeem Carey game. I wonder if he can start to get things going and really pick things up for this offense and be able to pardon the pun, but get the ball rolling for Toronto this week. So those are my picks for what is to come here in the CFL this week. Let's shift gears now and talk about a few headlines from the NFL.
If people are dieting now more than ever before, then why are nearly 1 in 3 American adults overweight? Dr. Gundry, who's helped thousands lose weight and feel younger and healthier than ever, says most people are not getting enough fat-burning MCTs from their food. MCTs are a special kind of compound that, instead of turning into fat when you consume it, turns into ketones, which is a chemical that breaks down the excess fat in your body. So, by getting more MCTs in your diet, you essentially flip a switch that puts your body in caloric bypass mode, which can flush out excess fat and calories. And he's created an easy way for you to activate caloric bypass right at home. It's called MCT Wellness. This powerful blend of fat-flushing MCT powders and antioxidant-rich polyphenols is designed to help you unlock your body's fat-burning, energy-producing potential. What's even better is that it's a delicious drink. I love how incredible it tastes. All you do is add a scoop to water, enjoy, and watch as you start feeling slimmer and more energized. So, if you want to experience a quick, easy, and effective way to melt pounds fast, go to GundryMD.com/energy and order right now to get up to 53% off your regular price order with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Again, that's GUNDRYMD.com/energy. Why are so many dogs suffering from health issues? Actress Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more issues with dogs' joints, odors, and health than ever before. And after doing a ton of research, she feels there's one place we can look to support any dog's health: their food. So she decided to create something she could actually feel good about feeding her dogs. It's called Superfood Complete. Superfood Complete is made with over 30 of the healthiest ingredients on the planet, including several superfoods vital to your dog's health. Badlands Ranch also sponsors the Jason Debus Heigl Foundation, which has helped rescue thousands of dogs and place them in loving homes. Dogs across America are trying this food and experiencing amazing health benefits. Go to badlandsranch.com/save50 and order right now to get up to 50% off your regular price order with a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you want your dog to experience all these incredible things, go to badlandsranch.com/save50 today.
Just a couple of quick notes here. This is going to be a quick Football Friday. We're going to get into a lot of football in the next few weeks, so don't you worry. Justin Herbert banged up. He's dealing with a plantar fascia situation. They're expecting him to be ready for week 1, but plantar fascia stuff kind of hangs around a lot. And so we will see what comes of that. Also, this is a guy who was dealing with injury problems last year. And so how worried should the LA Chargers be about this situation? They have upgraded things on the offensive line, but they have significantly taken away from the skill position players that Justin Herbert has to work with. And so there was already a lot of pressure on this kid to just be the rising tide that raises all of the ships out in Los Angeles with the Chargers this year. And now if he is already dealing with injuries in training camp, I just worry about that kind of thing lingering all season long. But he is part of a position that is getting paid, as in the last couple of weeks, Tua Tagovailoa and Jordan Love have signed rather large contracts, and people have mocked them. And on the one hand, you can kind of see where that ridicule comes from. Tua hasn't won anything. Jordan Love's won 1 playoff game. He started 1 year. Tua has had 1.5 good seasons, and now these are 2 of the highest paid players in the history of the National Football League. You can absolutely argue that it is a broken system with the quarterbacks, but this is the price to play the game when you have quarterbacks who you think are your future. It doesn't matter if, oh, well, these guys aren't really top 5, top 10 kind of guys. Nope, doesn't matter. You think they're going to be your quarterback for the next 5 years? You got to pay them exorbitant amounts of money to do that. And because the thing is, who else is out there? There might be one, and we'll get to him in a second, but these teams aren't going to be bad enough next year to draft Sanders in the draft. And only one team is going to get Dak Prescott next year in free agency. So who else are you bringing in? For Green Bay, you have Love, who is growing with this young group of receivers and working on a pretty good chemistry as all these guys kind of develop at the same time. And out in Miami, you have tailored so much of this offense around Tua's ability to get the ball out quickly. And for like 75% of last year, the team was a Super Bowl favorite. So I don't think that you just absolutely throw everything out because of a couple of bad weeks. You hope that development continues for this kid. But it does make the Dak Prescott discussion even more interesting because Dak would easily be the best quarterback available in free agency. And quite frankly, he's probably would be the best quarterback that's been available in free agency for a bit. And I am throwing Kirk Cousins in there. I know people compare them a lot. I think Dak is significantly better than Kirk Cousins. I don't think the situation has helped him out a whole lot. He is going to get paid, and Dallas has to pay him and CeeDee Lamb, two players at positions that have had mucho dinero just thrown at them lately. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this thing goes in the offseason for the Cowboys. All right, that's going to do it for a Football Friday. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week, and I will talk to y'all later. I am out.
At your job, do you ever have to deal with a nose roller? How about a snub pulley? Well, if you're installing a new conveyor belt system, dealing with the different components can sound like you're speaking a foreign language. Luckily, you've got a team ready to help. Grainger's technical product specialists are fluent in maintenance, repair, and operations. So whenever you want to talk shop, just reach out. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.